Our guest today is County Commission Chairman Steve Keene. And Chairman Keene, thank you for being with us. How are you?
Thank you, Wayne, for having me this morning, and Chris over there handling the camera. We really appreciate you having me this morning.
We always appreciate your coming in, talking to us this morning. We have a lot of things we want to cover this morning. I'll get right to it if you don't mind.
No, sir.
This past week, we enjoyed a breakfast at Goldsboro Country Club. It was a legislative breakfast. A lot of our legislators were in this meeting. What was your take, and what do you think we gained from that meeting with our legislators?
Well, it was Friday morning, and I think that the commissioners, I know we enjoyed it. We enjoyed, of course, rubbing shoulders, shaking hands with state officials from our area, and Senator Pate, Senator Davis, and of course Jimmy Dixon, House member.
Right.
Those three came and shared a lot of information with us in Raleigh. We shared a lot with them, and from the county's point of view of how we feel that the county may want to move in the future, and how they can help us in Raleigh. Yeah. It was very beneficial.
You know, we covered a lot of ground, everything from, and in fact some of our department heads spoke at the meeting, and they let our legislators know what was going on in their own departments. I know, well, just different departments spoke. Now, and this was a very positive meeting. Do you feel that our legislators will be able to help us out with some of the issues that were brought to them?
Oh, sure, sure. They were really sensitive and welcoming all the comments, in particular the department heads. Yeah. I think they'd rather hear that than from the commissioners. Yeah. Politician to politician, I guess these are troops on the ground, and these department heads had some real good subjects that is going to affect our county, the budget, their budget line, their bottom line. So we gave them what we felt like is applicable for Wayne County, and saving the tax dollars, and for those guys to get back up there and really push for what we were looking for. Yeah. And the one subject matter was, of course, Seymour Johnson Air Force Base,
yes.
The BRAC, and having the paperwork, all the resolutions, everything from just not the county but from the state level, moving up to the federal government. The other was infrastructure, of course, which we bring it back down to a state level and looking at DOT projects, particularly the 795 40 corridor connector, making that an interstate shield. We wanted to make sure that we got that on the front burner, and make sure that, as I said in the meeting, that Martin Lancaster and Andy Anderson, there was a lot back 20 years ago who made that happen from Wilson County down to Wayne County, but we certainly need to move it on down through Dukeman, Sampson, get down to Brunswick, get into those ports.
And the legislators that attended the meeting seemed to be very receptive to that. They're very positive about that.
And we have to have, of course, TIP. We have to have some addendums put together by the MPO, and we'll get that taken care of and get it to the state. And Secretary Tata take it and give it his blessings, and the House and the Senate members are all supportive. And we'll move forward to make that addendum to the TIP, that Transportation Improvement Plan, then get it to Washington and let those fellows look at it, and hopefully George Holding and Mr. Butterfield and all of those House and Senate members up there will embrace it. Nonpartisan. It's what's good for the region.
Yeah. Steve, we're a little over 3 months into, a little over 100 days into the term, and so how did the commissioners feel about the progress that has been made so far?
It's been really good. Working really hard. They do wish I would quit calling them for meetings, but it's a big fire hose. But this particular month was a little special. It's County Government Month,
right?
And we had the resolution on that the first of the month, and the National Association of Counties for the whole country designates April as County Government Month, and we've taken this month to get involved with county departments, just not the budget. And of course, it's helped us with the budget, because we're able to get on the ground and press the flesh of those who are actually working and out there getting their feet on the ground and producing. We're seeing that production. We're seeing, for example, maybe I don't want to get off the subject matter, but Monday, commissioners getting out with the employees, seeing who they are, meeting them, and face to face. And what are you doing? I was with the Emergency Medical Services, OES, Office of Emergency Services. Got into EMS or ambulance all day. Rode that all day, and with Jason and Brandon, and we had a great time. There was like 18, 19 calls just on that one vehicle for 24 hours.
My goodness.
And I was with them for about 9 hours, and then enjoyed the day. Learned a lot. Learned how important 911 was, because this month, this county government month, is all about the creating safer communities. So with that in mind, I wanted to find out what the EMS was doing.
Will all of the commissioners be participating in this, going to the different departments and such?
Sure. They're wide open. They're going around and doing the same as I'm not sure. I know that Tuesday I was in the helicopter, the sheriff's helicopter, with 2 deputies, John Denny and Tom Parker, and Captain Parker, and we went up and looked at the infrastructure of the county. They took me up, and I was able to see 95, the 795 connector that we just spoke about, where that's going down 117. I was able to look at the 70, the new 70, and sort
How's
of
that
where
coming along, by the way?
really
if you don't mind my
doing
interrupting?
well. We're still on schedule for the fall of 15. We wanted to look at the interchanges and just get an overview. Went over to the Progress Energy Duke plant, flew over that, and looked at, here we go from a $300 million tax base to a $900 million tax base for the county. Glad they stayed.
That's wonderful, yes.
And of course, we spoke yesterday in our facilities meeting about the Wayne Correctional, and you have Noose Correctional, and then we have Wayne Correctional, and Wayne Correctional, of course, we all know is being looked at by the governor, and to do away with that. And if that happens, then certainly, we're interested in it as far as a jail. So we flew over that and looked at that. Went over to the solid waste site. Looked at the new sale that we've got there and how solid waste is doing. These guys are doing a great job. I want to see it from the air.
So there's a lot of proactive on the part of the commissioners, proactivity, seeing what's going on in the county. The perspective that you're looking from the sky gives you a better idea, I suppose, of the landfill, what's going on there, the facilities, other facilities as well.
Yes, you can get so much in about 35 minutes. That all of a sudden, instead of just papers you're looking at, you're getting a 30. I would say 30,000, but it's not there. We were up about 500-600 feet. But you can still, as you move across Wayne County, you start seeing the ag. You start seeing the farmers and what they're doing. You're starting to see the planning, the stage. What we're in the planning stage now. So you're seeing those farmers, you're seeing those fields, you're seeing the trees, you're seeing the wetlands for environmental purposes. Doing a land use plan, you know where the trees are. It's generally wet. Where it's cleared, it's farmed. Where it's roads. Then you have developments, subdivisions. You're looking at subdivisions and how well planned they are. It looks great on paper. As being on the planning board, you can look at these plats. But when you see it from the air and you see these yards, the gardens, and you see how people take care and the quality of life that people have from the air, it gives you a whole other perspective of really how great Wayne County is. And then, of course, you see your villages, you see your livestock, you see how everything that you are talking about from day to day or week to week in the county as far as planning and governance, you're actually seeing it all in about 35 to 40 minutes. And you're seeing it at a slow speed, so you're not moving but about maybe 60, 70. Well, that's an asset too with the helicopter, because we did get a call over in Eureka, and they were over there before the ground troops were over there looking at a 911 call, and they were over there in about 6-7 minutes, and then so it's pretty impressive.
That is impressive. That is impressive. The county's growing, and the county's growing at a great rate. What do you see happening in the next year or 5 years here in Wayne County as far as growth? I know the highways are going to play a part in that.
Well, on this watch, this 4-year watch for all the commissioners, we're going to see the highway completed. We're going to go through a BRAC. We're going to see traffic patterns move around to the north. We're going to see interchanges as long as we can get the infrastructure, gas, water, sewer. We're going to see that. We're going to look at, hopefully, interstate quality highways in the next 10 years. Certainly hopeful that we could see something by 2020. Growth, we need jobs. We need industry. Economic development was showing us at our board meeting, WCDA, the Wayne County Development Alliance, was showing us just the state and how little eastern North Carolina has grown with job producing industry, manufacturing. Everything is generally west of 95. So we're having to look at the tax base. Yesterday was our facilities meeting that was supposed to have been from 11 to 1. It was from 11 to about 3. And so we had quite a bit yesterday, and of course you guys tape that. We'll be showing that on TV quite a bit.
Well, let me ask, I'm going to ask you straight up. There's a lot of growth in Wayne County, and we're talking about the highways and how the growth is moving to the north. A lot of improvement coming to the county, and as a result of all that growth, the county will have to, of course, build and grow, and there's going to be an expense involved with a lot of this growth. How are we able to cover that expense, especially now with the situation in Washington and across the country with the sequestration and with the economy in such a shape it's in? How will the county handle this, and how will we pay for what we have to pay for to grow?
First of all, the government has to understand where the spigot was cut off. We have to identify that it's on the federal side, and then we have to identify that what they are going to give the state. And then, of course, we have to also identify what the state has and what they're cutting back. And once we, as a governing board, setting policy, tax rates, and looking after the programs that these have filtered down over the years, then we look at our base of population. And what is that population? We have to break the population down. You say growth, but I've mentioned to you before, 113,000 people to 122,000, that's 9,800 people. But you still look at what kind of, in segments, what are those? Are the age? Are the older people? What nationality? You know, we talked about Hispanics and African Americans, and we talked about Caucasian. We talked about the difference of that 9,800. Are they young? Are they old? And these are where the programs come in. And then if the state doesn't fund those, we of course have to fund those. And then as we looked at creating safer communities, this is what we're looking at this month, is that this theme that the National Association of Counties is saying is go out this month and this year, this particular month, and let's talk about you're creating safer communities. So when you look at those subdivisions, who lives in those subdivisions? What kind of per capita income do you have? Are you supporting the tax rate? You know, is the growth pattern below median income, or is it above, or where is it? Are these people making $80,000, $90,000 a year and sustaining $350,000, $450,000 homes? You know, that's your tax base, and if you don't get that tax base and can't create we've got these programs that have been created, you can't sustain them. So you have to look at that tax rate.
Yeah. So those nearly 10,000 people, you have to see what their needs are and what they bring to the table as far as their needs and as far as what they're able to add to the county. At the same time, the other 113,000 that are here now, they will be aging. Some will be retiring.
Yes.
There may be some income issues with those folks as well. So there has to be a balance.
Fixed income. Exactly. You're looking at are their children staying? Are they farming? Or if they don't have farms, are those children staying and sustaining themselves with high dollar jobs? Is the job market here? So they leave. And then you look at, well, who stays and what do they do? And if they have kids, you have to educate those children. I mean, you think about if something happened to, we were talking about sales tax dollars yesterday supporting schools, sales tax receipts, commercial, and if you lose those sales, those retail sales, there goes your sales tax receipts. If sales tax receipts go down, then you've got to subsidize these schools. And how do you do that? Well, the only place you can go is property tax. Right. So we don't want to do that because you have a number of people in the county that are growing older and they're on fixed incomes. Right. And they're leasing those farm plats. And the farmers, it's expensive for them to buy the fertilizers and I mean all this everything that a farmer does, it's expensive to run a farm. And you can get just so much per acre if you're leasing your farm. Your kids aren't here, they've left, and you're leasing it, and are you going to lease it for $65, $85, $100 an acre? I mean, what are you going to get for that? There's just not but so much, and you don't want to tax that because the more you tax that land, the higher they have to get, and the farmer just can't continue to pay that.
Well, we are an agricultural community.
Absolutely.
We're very proud of that fact. In fact, we're very high in producing agricultural products across the country. We're in the top 4 or 5 of the nation, yes, as far as our production in agricultural products.
And I think you'll see that in our commissioners. Is that it's good that we have the 6 districts and then one at large. Yeah. It's because you have a commissioner. Really, is that for my district? It's all rural. I have no municipality, so my thinking is your livestock and your row crops, and then you have another commissioner that might be the same issue. But our constituents are telling us, this is what it's costing, this is what we're having to pay. The farmers are, and so you have to sort of stay focused for what your constituents have voted you to do, and then you bring that to the table, and everybody brings their to the table, and we sit there, and we might not agree at the end of the day, but I think when decisions have to be made, it's for the best of the people in the county.
Over the last few weeks, we have had several of the department heads come before commissioners and describe their position, what they do in the county, and what their departments do in the county. In fact, I believe we went through all of the departments. What did the commission garner from these informative sessions?
Well, who they are, who these people are, who their families are. Mm-hmm. To find out what they actually do. It's easy to look at a line item and say, okay, you've got solid waste, so much money. Well, what does that entail? How many people? Well, we have so many employees. Yeah, but who are those employees? And then you go out there and you're able to see EMS. You see who these people are running 24-hour shifts. Mm-hmm. You know how focused they are. They are focused. They're laser sharp. So as we go around the departments and listen to the county manager, that we set policy, he carries those policies out. But he has all these people working, and if you've got one of your top 3 employers of the county, government, health care, and when you look at governance, health care, and then you add education, they're your 3 largest employers of the county. You got your public school and your colleges, so that's your education, and then your governance is what we're doing here in Wayne County with almost 1,000 employees. So you want to know who those employees are. We had our luncheon last week. We were able to meet with those folks and sit down at the table and talk to them and find out who they were. But the departments right now, it's very important that as we work on this budget coming up in less than 60 days, that we understand what we've got to do as far as funding and what they really need.
All right. We don't have a whole lot of time left, but I wanted to ask you a couple of things. First of all, about since the new commission came aboard, or since the new board of commissioners came aboard, you have insisted on absolute transparency. The meetings are held. The board of commissioners meet twice a month, the first and third Tuesday of each month, in the mornings. Mm-hmm. How does that stand?
Well, we're doing well. I think we've certainly have Barbara as our public information officer.
Right.
Making sure that the news of the county gets out with your help, and today with Chris and with Channel 10, mm-hmm. and I guess it's WGTV.
That's it, Wayne
And,
Goldsboro Television.
so-
It's a collaborative effort between the county and the city, and we're working very well with that too, by the way.
Well, yesterday we had our facilities meeting and we filmed it. All of our work sessions are filmed, Wayne. How much more transparent can you get? I mean, if you want to know what the Wayne County Commissioners are doing in their work sessions, it's never been done before in Wayne County.
It's on Channel 10.
And it's on Channel 10. So we're open for any question that might come before us. But we're doing all we can to inform the people of Wayne County, not who we are, but what we're doing.
All right.
That we move forward, and we want everybody to certainly understand what we're doing.
All right. Well, any final words? We're about out of time here. Anything you'd like the citizens to know?
That we've got a great county. We've got a wonderful county. There's a lot going on. You see that from the air. And in a lot of counties, they're not as fortunate as Wayne County. The Lord's blessed us, and He's going to continue to bless us. We're a good county. I'm telling you, it's exciting to live in Wayne County, and it's exciting to live in Eastern North Carolina. And we're just going to work really, really hard to make sure that we stay at the table every way that we can to watch those funding arms and be a part of all the decisions right now in Raleigh and hopefully in Washington, that we'll have a place at the table. Wayne County people can be assured of that.
Excellent. County Commission Chairman Steve King is with us twice a month. We appreciate you being with us.
Thank you, Wayne.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.